Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking about the 1934 S peace dollar, so one of the later ones, a better date, and we'll be discussing the values based off of what condition, when it's really going to have a good arbitrage opportunity. We're also going to focus on a major VAM that will add some value. Basically, if you're going to look close in a specific place on the front of the coin, a few of them will have an attribute that's going to make them much more rare and appealing to collectors, and also go over some mint errors both from this date and from some others. But the peace dollars are struck from 1921 originally to 1928, sort of to commemorate the peace following World War I, and they needed to send some silver to their ally Great Britain so that Great Britain could make good on their currency promises as being backed by silver in some of their colonies. And the coin then gets stopped in 1928 because they fulfill that commitment. But then in 1934, they realized that they'd like to have a few more dollars, but also that silver is at a really cheap level, and we'll discuss that in just a moment. But they start buying a bunch of silver, the Treasury does, and produces these dollars. They circulate in the western United States, so the San Francisco Mint is perfect for that because it's nearby. But the availability and how much they actually get used is a little less than anticipated. So they stop striking them. 1964, they start striking again, but when they just realize they're going to go to collectors and dealers who will make money, they stop the striking. But 34S, very rare date. And yeah, exactly. The Silver Purchase Act of 1934 mandates the Treasury buying silver until that silver price reaches $1.29, or that the silver to gold ratio in the Treasury is 1-3. They do prepare 1936 dies to strike coins, but people realize, there's a bunch of these peace dollars just sitting in the Treasury and just vaults all over the place. They're not really needed in circulation. And these coins are pretty challenging because there's a very low mintage. In addition, a lot of the coins just entered circulation because people weren't really collecting them, and they just either went out into circulation to be spent, and there weren't tons of the bags laying around. There were a few of them available, but they weren't like high premium coins until most of them had entered circulation. There's also a lot of coins that have added S mint marks from other coins, so you do have to be careful of that, just as sort of a side note. But as you can see, this coin in XF40 is about a $100 coin. AU55 becomes $550, and you have to watch out for clean coins that will really destroy the value on these as well. In mint state, though, this becomes a $4,500 find. Mint state 63, mint state 64 jumps to $6,000, mint state 65 $10,000, and mint state 66 $30,000. So actually not astronomical values towards the top of that range as sometimes you see, but even those solid mint state coins, just super challenging to find. I mean, with a million and 11,000, very low mintage, that's sort of anticipated, but it's some serious value for the UNC ones. You also do want to be looking at this doubled tiara. It'll make it better, not by a huge margin, but certainly by a little bit. You're going to look closely at the tiara to see a fine spread along the right side of a lot of the spikes in the center. Again, very much worth checking for. It's one of the top 50 peace dollar VAMs and can increase the value. Certainly make these coins more desirable and easy to sell when they have that attribute, because it's not going to take anything away from the coin, just add. There's only one major error that I could find. This one is VF details, but it has an awesome laminated planchet. I mean, that's a huge occurrence. There would have been some impurities in the metal of this coin that caused the planchet to sort of flake off as it does here. It only sold for $55. I think that's a bargain. Some other mint errors. This one was a flip over double strike and collar. You can see some of the rays from the other side protruding in the neck of the Liberty, as well as in the sort of forehead and temple area. And this is a pretty rare coin, but it did circulate, so this theoretically could happen on any peace dollar, so look for it. I mean, with a price tag of $7,650 for what otherwise would have been like a $30 coin, that's pretty good in my book. And then there's also off-center coins, which will be pretty apparent, but just sort of fun to be aware of if the planchet doesn't fully go into the chamber to be struck. But anyways, a lot to look for. Make sure to check for the double tiara, even on already graded coins, and just be aware of how rare of a date this is. I mean, the demand was not huge, so the mint was just profiting off seigniorage of the coins, buying when the silver price was lower, minting it into dollars, and even paying people for their silver in silver dollars that they just made. A lot of sort of overlooked, sort of a classic story of a lot of the key date U.S. coins. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every US coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date, mint mark, denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.